Welcome back to Inside Africa. We're on a river trip up the Gambia and into the past, exploring what remains of the legacy of European trade and slavery. Today, it lives on in the ruins, relics, and legends. On the edge of Jufra, on the north bank of the river, historian Hassum Cisse takes me to the ruins of a Portuguese settlement.
So how old are these ruins?
These ruins date back to the middle of the 15th century, in the 1450s. When the Portuguese arrived here in 1456, they were impressed with the trade potential they saw along the river Gambia. So they decided to build a permanent settlement here.
It's estimated that at the height of the slave trade, 1 in every 6 West Africans taken to be sold came from this region. One reason, European traders saw the potential of the river Gambia. It runs deep into the continent, more than 700 miles, and it granted them access to the African interior, to various goods, and to slaves. Captured West Africans were taken to the Americas to labor on plantations, growing crops like sugar, tobacco, and cotton, which were shipped to Europe and exchanged for manufactured goods that would then be sold back in Africa for more slaves, thus forming the transatlantic slave trade. To trace the roots of that history, I visit the Slavery Museum in Jufre.
So what do we have here?
This is the instruments of torture. Like you can see, this one are shackles and like handcuffs that they put into the hands of the slaves. And this one are the grinding iron. They used to put palm oil on their skins, and then they will put this iron in the fire, make it hot, and they put it on their soldier. So normally this is used by the slave traders to identify them when they got on the plantations. And these ones are shackles for the feet, and this one is a whip. They used to beat them.
That's really sad.
If you come over here, you will see some of their weapons. Like these are single barrel guns. One of the reasons why the Europeans were able to overpower our ancestors was simply because they were armed. So they could not fight against people with guns. So this is why most Africans were captured into slavery.
This is so surreal.
So this is one is just trying to show you that at the instant they don't have shackles, they will use thick wood and then put it onto their necks in order to, because they're chained together and they walk on a queue and transporting them.
I see it included babies as well.
Yeah, they captured children of 6 years, virgin girls, pregnant women, because some people think that when you talk of a slave, it's a man only, but they captured men, women, and children.
Can't wait to get to the liberation part.
Kunta Kinte, portrayed here by LeVar Burton in the TV series Roots, was a member of the Mandinka tribe, the largest ethnic group in this region. He was captured in Jufre in the mid-18th century and put on a ship bound for Maryland.
What I want to show you is the notice here. Annapolis, September 29, 1767, was the year that the Lord Laguna, so that was the boat that took Kunta Kinte from James Island to Gore and then across to Annapolis in America, where he was sold. She's the eldest and she's the one on the throne.
Cisse agrees to take me to meet one of Kunta Kinte's descendants, who still lives in the ancestral village.
I'm a 7th-generation descendant of Kunta Kinte. He was a warrior. He was brave. Kunta loved his country very much, and he resisted his slave status. He did not want to be called Toby.
Toby was Kunta Kinte's slave name, given to him when he arrived in Maryland almost 250 years ago.
When Kunta was captured, his father wrote on a piece of paper that his son was taken away by slavers, and that until the end of times, his son's name will not be forgotten.
We continue our journey deeper into the Gambia, towards the port of Bintang, once a major center for trade. Today, a mere pile of bricks, barely visible through the vegetation.
Now this town was very, very significant as far as commerce along the River Gambia is concerned. The European trading vessels will come for provisioning. Bintang also was a very, very busy slave port. All the slaves captured on the south bank of the River Gambia, going up to the Casamas River. Bintang stands out as one of the very, very important and thriving trading centers along the banks of the River Gambia.
Although it may be the smallest country in mainland Africa, the Gambia's role in global history is anything but inconsequential. Coming up, we continue upriver, heading towards our final stop on the River Gambia.